Okay, so we are live.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
Right. I'm Instagramming that we're live right now.
Okay, so I'm just checking in.
Hi. Did someone just say hi then?
That was the YouTube channel. I'm just checking it's working. Okay, so we're just waiting for people to join before we start. There's a few people already on, so we'll just wait for a few more. So Gemma's just sending a post out. Electro Red says hi.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Jenny Betts says hi. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. Right.
So, Gemma, you've literally just finished a class. Just tell us what you've done, just literally, and before you've done this call.
Okay, so usually on Thursday I have plan upper body. So
Emily, you've broken up there.
can you see me?
Yeah, I can now.
So I've been doing my classes online. I had to move it since the gym's been shut. So tonight was supposed to be upper body, but instead I did a Thursday flashing just so I finished in time to come here. So they're not going to thank you for this, right? So I've just given like 30 minutes best effort. They had 30 minutes to do. They had clean and presses because all the guys on my group hired my body pump kit. So they had clean and presses, press ups, burpees. We started from 2 and I had to get to 20 in 30 minutes, going up in 2s.
Ouch.
And after every set, they had to do 15, sit on the box, jump on the box, sit on the box, jump on the box. They all finished it, so it was good. But yeah.
So you killed them?
Yeah, every day, twice a day.
But they love it.
They do. Well, you've been and watched it. They do love it, don't they?
Yeah.
You know.
So literally, you finished that and then just literally gone from there and jumped onto onto this call.
Yeah.
A few technical issues, but we're here.
Yeah. Listen, when it's me, there's always a technical issue. I'm not very good at technology, right? So I've done quite well to be not half an hour late.
Okay. But while I'm waiting just for more people to join, let's talk about obviously the current situation and COVID and that, and what's been happening. Where were you before it kind of this nonsense happened? Where were you in your mind? Where were you? What was happening? What were you aiming to achieve? What was going on with yourself?
So I was 2 weeks out of Olympia qualifier, which sucks. I made the decision though to pull from the show before the show got cancelled. So is my connection okay? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine at the minute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go, Julie. Okay. Can you see Julie? Said hello.
Oh my. Hi. Basically, me and my coach Matt, we had a discussion because the uproar of the whole situation, and I, in my heart of hearts, didn't believe that the show was going to go ahead. I knew really that we were holding on to friction at straws. Basically, all the other shows in the UK had been cancelled, and my issue and Matt's issue was, as athletes, we've got to think about our safety and our health. And as a competitor, the closer you get to show day, the less your immune system is firing. So did we take my body to that situation, to that position, and risk that for a show that really in our hearts we knew wasn't going to happen? Or do we just pull the plug? And we pulled the plug and we said, you know what, life is actually a little bit more precious right now, even though it's my ultimate goal. And it turned out a couple of days later it did get cancelled. But another reason actually that I pulled from it is because I thought it was unfair because there were travel bans on. So to go onto a pro stage, you want to go and compete with my fellow pros, and they couldn't get there. So it was really unfair. And I thought, out of respect for the people that had their dream ripped, then I was going to step back as well.
Okay, so So what obviously there's massive changes. What's been the roadmap from them? So what did Matt say to you then, and what have you put in place since the lockdown?
So straight away, it was a case of, right, let's get the food back in and let's get my body in a good place so that it's fit, it's healthy, it's fed, it's not in a depleted state. But at the same time, let's not go off the rails too much, because, like, I'm not going to lie, I'm human. If he doesn't keep an eye on me, I can go off the rails. Like, I can pile the weight on. Like, I love food. I do. So he keeps a close eye on me from over there. You know how much I love food, Matt. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I can put it away. So, but we didn't know how long this was going to go on for. So I'm fortunate that because I've got my gym, I'm still able to train every day. So I'm really lucky. So we kind of had a discussion and thought, you know what, I'm actually at a real good advantage here because I can still train. So if we keep in a position where we're not too far away from being able to just kick it back instead of like going off the rails and then trawling it back to get into a good starting point, if we keep there, then whatever happens later on in the year, we're ready to attack. And that's where we are now. I'm still checking in with him every week and sending pictures every week. And we're watching the diet, we're watching the weight. So
okay, so mentally, how I mean, I'm prepping a few clients that want to compete, but mentally for you, what's going on in your head? Because you don't know for certain that you're actually going to be able to compete. So you don't know if you're going to be able to get there. And so how is that? How does that feel, having to still even maintain the physique? And how's that? Is that hard? How does it feel?
So at the beginning, Matt, right before we decided to pull from the show, for a few weeks we were questioning, is this going to happen? And we said before we decided, let's keep pushing. And I actually admitted to Matt, this is hard for me to give so much effort to something that I don't know if it's going to happen. I wasn't thinking, and I've said to Matt before many times, I can go through the motions, I can eat the food and I can train and my body doesn't change. It's when my mind connects with my body and I'm in sync. All of a sudden it happens. I'm not doing anything different, but it's happening. So my mind wasn't connected with my body. I didn't know if it was going to happen, and I found it very difficult to keep my head focused. So in this phase now, like, I'm following a diet like I would on prep, but it's not prep. In my head, I'm not on prep. I'm just ticking by, and I'm using this time to make improvements, because I can grow into a show really quite late. I can still be growing into a show at like 6 weeks out, as you know. So I'm using this time to think, well, you know what? I haven't stayed lean, so I am still building. So I'm making the most of this time. Then if it doesn't happen this year, then I have a wasted a year of growth because I'm still building. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So I really want that opportunity for the Olympia qualifier this year. But the problem is, even if the shows in America do go ahead, that they've changed the Olympia to December.
Yeah.
But the Olympia qualifying cutoff, usually it's July, they've changed it to the 20-something of October. So even if the shows go ahead in October and September, our travel ban to America may not have been lifted. So we might not be able to get over there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's all up in the air.
Yeah, it must be. Like I said, I've got a couple of clients that were getting ready, and they had a couple of shows in the calendar, and then week by week those shows got cancelled, and then cancelled, and it's hard to for them mentally to keep going.
Yeah.
We have got a question in, so it's from Sarah Oldham. I'll put it up on the screen. But if anyone else wants to ask Gemma any questions, or me, then just type them into the Facebook comments bit, or on YouTube. Just add a comment, and we'll start to answer. So get your questions coming in. But let's have a look at Sarah's question.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I've got, it's a really funny story, isn't it? What got me into competing. So Sarah, it wasn't bet, it was a dare, right? So I used to live in Colchester down in Essex, and I ran a boot camp business, and I was running marathons. In fact, 2 weeks before my first show, I ran a half marathon. And Hercules Olympia, the biggest WABA show on the calendar, really. He did put on a good show, did Scott, didn't he?
Did.
It was in Colchester, and one of my clients said, "Oh my God, you should go and do that." And the show was in 2 weeks. And I was like, "Oh, okay." So off I trotted down to Hercules gym. "Hi, I want to do your show." And he was like, "Okay." And I said, "I don't know anything about it. Do I need to like eat, a special diet?" And he just laughed at me and he said, "Well, it's too late to do that now, chick. Just do what you're doing. You made me go and strip off into my underwear, have a look at me." And he said, "Yeah, get on stage in 2 weeks." So I was literally YouTubing what the hell goes on at a bodybuilding show because I didn't know. I had no clue. I got my bikini off eBay. I went on stage. I had the time of my life because there was zero pressure on me whatsoever. It was just for fun in my eyes, right? So all my boot campers were there. It was amazing. And then when they called us back for the results, well, I'd switched off. I wasn't even listening because, well, I was just there for like the experience and the bet, really. And they called out third, sixth, fourth, and they got to second, and everyone was screaming, and I wasn't listening. I wasn't even listening, and 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 it was me. They called me out for second place, which I just couldn't believe. Anyway, I left the stage and I didn't really give it much thought. I was on a high. It was like an amazing feeling and I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't something that I knew enough about to want to go and do. And then Scott Horton phoned me up 2 days later and said, "We want to take you to Greece for the World Championships on the UK team. Would you like to come?" And I was like, "Oh my God, this is like, yeah, I'm going to come." So that very afternoon, I went down to Hercules Gym and I did my first ever proper weight session. And I've never stopped training since that day.
And so, and she says, would you redo your fitness? And would you change anything?
I wouldn't change anything because, do you know what? I've really, 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 really got lucky. So Scott Horton, he was a very opinionated man, but he set me on the straight from the very first time I walked into that gym. And his advice he gave me was keep your head on your shoulders and your feet firmly on the ground. And I've always remembered that. He said, this fitness industry will just take you and they'll suck you in and spit you out. And it is true. And the most important thing with that is just stay real. I
Yeah.
won't go with the crowd. I'll stay real. So that's the one thing. And then when I went to Greece, I met Matt. No, I didn't. I met Lou, who became my coach. Because I wasn't going to do it anymore. Because when I went to Greece, I was so far out of my comfort zone. I shouldn't have been on that stage. I was just it was awful. And I was like, okay, I've enjoyed it, but that is it. And it wasn't until I sat and talked with Luke Nichols, and he was like, "Well, I can help you," because I saw the trained physique girls, and I was like, "Well, actually, I'd quite like to look like that." Well, I'm skinny at this point, like this. Like, this is what I look like. My legs are like a pencil. This is like my leg here. And he said, "Okay, if you want to look like that, I'll help you." And I was like, "Okay." Now, it was you that made me talk to Luke because I spoke to you
Yeah.
on the internet before we went there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we made a pact. Okay, let's work together. He became a coach. Me and you started training every day. It was the best training time of my life because we hammered it.
You did.
I've never had that since. I've had people that will train hard, but they won't train hard every single day for a long period of time. And so then we started prepping for the universe. And I didn't know about training. So you and Luke taught me everything I knew, like everything I know. You planted the seed. And do you remember remember when me, you and Luke were all in that universe? Man, there's nothing that could touch that session. But our session, because we were all on the same track.
Yeah.
And so, really, I've had the guidance and the best people around me. I've been looked after because it can go really wrong in our bodybuilder if you get in the wrong hands, and we've all seen it happen. So I've been very fortunate to have two coaches, Luke and then Matt. When I went from to Matt, Luke gave me his utmost support, and that is a sign of a good coach and friend. So I wouldn't change nothing. I'm still living life on like this ultimate high, and I don't take anything for granted. Like sometimes I still look in the mirror and I'm still thinking that I'm that girl from back there. And it's not till I see a picture that I'm like, Jesus, there's like a lot of muscle on that body. But I won't let it go like spiral in my head. You know what I mean?
Well, you're still the same Gemma that I knew, regardless of whether you're 20 kilos heavier or not. But
I literally am 20 kilos heavier. Like, literally, I'm 20 kilos heavier. Yeah. When I met you, I was 56 kilos. And sorry, so now I'm maybe not 20 right now, probably about 16 kilos heavier, but I have gone up to 20 kilos heavier. I've been 86 kilos on my season.
That's good. And you're probably benching 20 kilos more as well.
110. I could do
Bloody hell.
110. I couldn't even do a 5-plate aside started.
That's right, yeah.
And when I used to do the leg press when I started, 2 plates aside, and I was buzzing. I can now 13.
That was a good question from she's.
It was a really good question.
Yeah, she's laughing at the fact that you were kind of you didn't do it by choice. You kind of went into it just as a joke almost.
Yeah, like literally as a joke. I knew nothing about it. Nothing about bodybuilding at all.
Do you remember? You might Erno. Do you remember Erno?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
He's saying hello. So hey, Erno.
It's such a small world, isn't it? And there's people that like when I used to look at, like when I was first starting out, and there were people that I used to really look up to.
Yeah.
I still look up to those people, regardless if they're still in the amateur circle and I turn pro.
Yeah.
Those people are who inspired me to do what I'm doing, so I still look up to those people.
Yeah, you should do.
Do you know what I mean?
I think it's important, isn't it? You've travelled with a lot of those people, me included, and you haven't changed as a person.
No.
I've got a question for you. It's my question to you, and it kind of follows on from what you just said, and it's obviously been with you from almost the very beginning, and being part of that amateur journey, going all around Europe and even competing on stage together, and winning the universe together.
Yes.
You know they were like, and they were super good times. They were really good times, and we, as a team, and like Luke and all the other guys that joined us every year as Team UK, it was such a good fun. And then you obviously went on to win your NABA Pro card, and then now you've become IFBB Pro. What does it feel like? Like, does it feel differently now than before? Is it a completely different ball game? How does it feel, first of all, chasing your dream to get on the Olympia? And is it different now being in that kind of pro league and compared to it at the amateur level?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes, in a big way, because now I've gone, like when we started off and we went through the WABA, and then we went to NABA, and Luke said to me, we're going for this NABA universe. Now for me, I always said, I'm going to get to the Olympia. I want to go to the Olympia. And back then it was almost impossible because the Olympia card was held by the UKBFF. Yeah. So for me, I felt like it's going to be very, very hard to get there. When that all changed and the doors were open, so we could go to Europe and compete and compete for a pro card, that changed everything. So really, we went to do the NABA universe to just for me, the NABA is the most prestigious amateur stage, right? So if you can win the NABA universe, you're ready to take that step or try and take that step.
Yeah.
In my head. So I remember winning that and coming off stage because they were like, "You've been offered your NABA Pro," and I was like, "I've got to speak to Luke. I've got to speak to Luke." Like I didn't know what the hell was going on because I hadn't competed in NABA before. That was the first year. So we did the Indians, we won it, and then we won the universe. So it was all a bit of a shock. And then they announced that we could go and compete for the IFBB. Well, my dream was just to get to Olympia, and I live every single day to do that. So when I got my pro card, IFBB pro card, for me, it hasn't changed me, but I have started to take things more seriously. So I understand that, the first thing my coach said, you need to change your name on social media, because I was always the She Beast on Instagram, and he brought it to my attention. You've got to be recognised now as an athlete for who you are. So your name has to automatically bring your physique and your body up. So if you're only known on social media as the She Beast, when they see on the scorecard Gemma Lancaster, they don't know who they're looking for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that was the first thing. The second thing was the first time I went on for the pro stage, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I was in Romania, and how you trek is so much different.
Yeah.
So they had trays of like Gatorades and waters, and when you got on stage, they're holding your hand up on the stage and helping you off. Like as an amateur, they just let you fall off. Do you know what I mean? And then they bring in fresh food and fresh buns and local cuisine and all this round for when we get off stage. And then there's the food and the party afterwards. And it's just like the first time I was there, I was like, oh my God, this isn't even real. But now it has sunk in, and the people that I am circulating with, I'm chatting to regularly, were people that I don't imagine they'll ever meeting back then. And now they're in my circle. It's crazy. Like I don't take it for granted ever, never ever.
Yeah.
I couldn't. But at the same time, I'm also aware that what I do now, people are looking at.
Sure.
Like I believe that if you become a professional in whatever field it is, and you put yourself in the public eye, you have a duty then to be a good role model.
Yeah.
So I try and conduct myself in that way, but it's not. I don't really try because I am just naturally like that anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But to go from going on the Hercules stage, like I try and explain to people that don't know the bodybuilding, like to go on that Hercules stage where I was, there's a big triangle, and at the bottom of the triangle is all the thousands and thousands of amateur athletes just competing, and then you go up to like regional, and then national, and then world, and then universe, and then right at the top is that Olympia, and I'm sat at the section below, there, and it's just in reaching distance. And to know that I only need to win a show and I'm on that Olympian stage, man, it drives me every single day.
Okay, so say for instance, if you don't get to because of all the travel restrictions and things, and you don't get to go to a show this year, and you miss what do you think Matt is going to have? What would the plans be then? Would it be attack a show as soon as possible in the early year of the year, or would it be wait until later? What would be the plan? Do you think?
I think that we'd have to sum up the situation. We look at my physique to see, right, okay, so this Olympia's out of the question because we can't get there. So let's have a real good look now. Are we ready? are we going to give the best that we could, or could we do with a little bit more time on these godforsaken legs of mine? You know, if we're ready, then in my head, I would like to say Romania is on in November. I'd like to hit that show. I would like to, if we can get there, I'd like to do it. In my head, I would like to hit a show, go for it, see where we're at. If I can qualify early, then I've got that whole thing to 2021 Olympia to build again. If I don't get it, I've still got that whole year to compete until I do get it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you leave it late,
yeah,
you leave yourself with not a lot of options.
Yeah, I mean that makes complete sense. And if you're almost, or you know, still in this condition, and that show is on in November, it makes sense to go for that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's local, most cost effective as well, because you know the Two Bros one that was going to happen that I was doing was in the UK. That's the first time in many years that women's physique has been in the UK, and we don't know if they're going to bring that back. So after that, in Europe, there's only Portugal, Romania, and in fact not even Prague, because Prague doesn't have women's physique. So Portugal and Romania are the only two European shows. After that, you stateside, you Canada. It's all money then. Yeah, so if I can get a quick European one, that would be great on the old bank balance, wouldn't it?
Oh, definitely. Okay, so obviously anyone who's watching, they still keep firing, put some questions in for us, specifically for Gemma to answer. Or we'll still just keep on talking. So
because I can talk.
Yeah, you can talk. So Gemma, just tell us a little bit about your training moving into kind of, I know how it's changed, we've had a chat about that, but
yeah,
tell us, you know, specifically what you're targeting on at the minute, because, you know, you just mentioned your legs there are a weaker area. What kind of training protocol are you using to get to the Olympia, to strengthen those weaker body parts?
So Matt has given me a training program that I follow, and he keeps an eye on me by I have to send him videos of my top sets of the exercises of each like session. When I check in, I also send my videos of my training, and then he critiques me, or he tells me that he's happy, or he tells me like something wussy and put the weight up on that or whatever. But for me, I've always trained, I don't say, for instance, chest, back, legs, shoulders, arms. But this training is different. So he mixes it up. So I'll have on a back day and missing shoulders, but legs is just legs. Now the biggest thing is to bring those legs up. And he's changed my training. Yes, we're lifting bloody well heavy, but heavy with form. So I could probably lift heavier, but to hold a pause at the bottom of a squat and then drive it up 12 times and then only have 90 seconds of rest before you've got to go again, you can't put 3 plates aside on a squat for that, because you wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? So how he likes me to do it is a top set from early on in the set, your heaviest, and then we reduce it by 10 to 15%, and then we carry on with the working set. That 10 to 15% doesn't feel like anything's come off that bar, you know. And we really go for, I don't know whether you follow Matt. You follow Matt on?
Yeah, I do, definitely, yeah.
You'll see his training, how he trains. It's exactly how I'm training now, and I found it so much better. So at the end of each movement, at the end of each rep, it's a complete stop. You know, so you're not using momentum from the rep before. You're not bouncing the rep. You completely stop it. So on a row, for example, like I was doing earlier, you're completely fully stretched and you stop, and then you drive it in, because then you're using the muscles that you're targeting rather than just fine. Like I could put a weight on and do this and get a lot less than actually if I stop it and I squeeze it and I focus on what I'm actually trying to hit. It's a whole different ball game.
And how you've obviously been with Matt now for quite some time. How have you got, like, you've obviously got comparisons of your physique before that and using the training protocol. How do you think your physique has changed in that time?
Well, looking, the most accurate comparison, I suppose, would have been from Canada when I competed. That was my first show with him.
Yeah.
To where we got to 2 weeks out on my last show. I mean, we only had, for that first show, we only really had about 16 weeks together before that show.
Yeah.
So he was learning about me. I mean, this guy blew my head off with how much food he got me to eat. I could not believe, when I saw it, I was very scared.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I can't eat that food. This is like more than I did on an off-season bulk. Like, what, man? He would feed me up high carb days, and I would have 1,000 grams. I don't mean 1,000 grams, I mean in weight, grams, physical grams.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
1,000 grams of rice or potatoes per day. You'd have done 2 days of that. At the end of that, I'd be lighter. Like, he changed my perspective on things. And to keep doing this and feeding me, and the different training, the difference in my physique when I was just about to compete just then was amazing. The thickness, my legs have grown because, I suppose, because I'm training them, I'm not fattering them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So if you managed to get on stage this year, you think that since the last time that you were in the States and competing, that you're going to you've definitely improved and you're going to be bringing a different Gemma to the stage?
Yeah. I know that even now, because I think you can tell if you know, like, you know, sometimes the scales isn't always the most accurate reflection, because, as you know, they can play havoc with your brain.
Yeah.
So the shape that I'm at now at this weight compared to last year, this weight, I'm carrying a lot less body fat and have much more shape, which tells me this is a better physique. It's more solid. I've made gains. But even when, you know, before when I was going to go on stage in London, my physique was different. My legs were thicker, my hamstrings were better. I've even got some display of calf muscle. Now that's incredible. You know, it's done. It has done. I can see the improvements that I made. So, but don't get me wrong. There's always room for more, like a hell of a lot more. So we just got to keep pounding away.
Okay. Now, you know, when you were on stage in London and in Canada, and then you look back, did you get to see some of the footage yourself and see the competitors that you were up against and compare kind of like your physique against theirs?
Yeah. And well, the first when I was in Prague, right, the stage, I've never seen a stage like it in my life, right? And they have these massive big screens on either side and a massive screen. I turned around to do my double biceps and I looked up and there is like a 20-foot me on either side of the stage, and I'm like correcting my posing, like looking at the screen, and I thought it was a moment of thinking, oh my God, do you know, like we've gone from competing in like a school to that's me up there, like it's nuts, and that was a big shocker to me. But when you go back and hello.
Say hello to Gemma. Remember Gemma?
Oh,
He's just been for a walk.
About bodybuilding now. I have to talk about little babies.
He's grown, hasn't he?
Yeah, massively. He's got your hair.
Go on, you carry on.
I do look at the comparisons. I know that my back is strong. But my legs. But I mean, you look at some people, like look at Miss Olympia, right? Look at her. Sinead. Her physique is so pretty. Her abs, her midsection are so tiny, which gives this illusion of these legs and these lats. Don't get me wrong, she is huge and she's absolutely perfectly proportioned. when you look at actually her legs, she hasn't got monstrous legs. It's just so developed in them.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they're just perfect.
yeah. It's an illusion.
So she's just, I mean, you know, I'm sure that if I hadn't have had 3 kids, my waist might be like that too. But she's stunning, and I'm pleased because she represents well. All the girls on the Olympia stage represent muscularity and beauty. It's a
Yeah,
good representative or a representation of the sport. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, definitely. So, is it any more scary getting on kind of like those pro qualifiers than it was, you know, on your very first show or at the universe? Or because I know I've been backstage with you so many times, and you know, it was nerve wracking. Is it even?
Really nerve-wracking.
Yeah, is it even more so at that level? Does it feel more kind of, I don't know, are you like really nervous, or have you got more confidence now? What's going on in your head when you're backstage at a pro show?
I feel very calm in respect that it's like I feel like I belong there now. The first pro show I did, I was a nervous wreck. I didn't know anybody. I felt like, oh my god, what am I doing on this stage? What am I doing backstage? Do you know what I mean? Like I was beside myself with nerves. But like now, I feel relaxed going onto the stage. The pressure is everybody wants that first place. Whereas before, when we used to compete in the amateurs, we wanted to win, but first, second, third, fourth, it didn't really change your life.
Yeah,
Whereas that win is the ticket to the Olympia. So the pressure is, don't get me wrong, to place top 6 in a pro show, that is phenomenal because we're all at that level. But
yeah,
you want the win. You want the win because that's the only way to get to the Olympia. So that's where the pressure is. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. There's more at stake, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because for some categories, for some divisions, so for example, bikini, men's physique, it isn't a win and straight through because there's so many athletes in that division and there's so many shows. Like pretty much every pro show you go to will have bikini or men's physique or both. Whereas the bigger ones like Men's Open, and our division, they're not on every so the viewership if there's 25 shows or less in a year, then a win is a straight qualifier.
okay. All right. So let's just come away from you for a second, and let's think
Yeah,
about where you came from and the amateurs again, and kind of people that you still know now, and others following that journey and wanting to get to the Olympia, or even get to the universe, or you know, whatever their kind of immediate goal is in this
yeah.
current climate. What have you got any kind of, what would you say to people at the minute? What's your advice to kind of to maybe help people? What if you were in the situation now when we were competing back in 2014 or 15? What would you
Yeah.
say to yourself now in this situation? What would you do?
With COVID.
Yeah, I mean, like in this lockdown, and you know, how
Okay.
what would you say to people?
I think that there is a lot of people that are putting a lot of pressure on themselves trying to maintain a physique that they used to have in the gym, right? And with no access to the gym, that's not going to happen. If you take that expectation away from yourself, then you're under less pressure. The worst pressure is self-induced. So not focus on a date because no one has got dates. You can't focus on a date. You can't fix your mind on the date because if the date doesn't happen, you're going to lose your head. There are no dates confirmed this year. I don't think there'll be any shows in the UK this year. That's the truth. As much as they're trying to push them, I really don't think there will be. If you attach yourself to a date, you're attaching yourself to one show. So instead of that, and this is what my coach has worked with me on, is instead of focusing on the date, focus on being the best version of yourself that you can be. So work with what you've got because everybody's in the same boat. So if they were to put a show on at the end of the year, and we talked about this,
Yeah.
the standard of the show is not going to be as if everybody else has been training in the gym and you're the only one that's training at home.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the same boat. So focus on making improvements internally as well as physique-wise. Like relationship, mine is a relationship with food. Like I still have. If I'm having a bad day, I just want to eat shit.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I do. So I have to work hard on that. So take some time to look at, right, okay, what can I do? The gym's out of your hands. And also, when I talk about dates, don't look for a date where these gyms are opening, because so many people are telling you they're going to open on the 5th of July. They're not. They're not opening on the 5th of July. I'll tell you that right now. He's reviewing it on the 4th of July. So I can't see them opening any time before August. But we don't know that. We're only assuming they might be open in July.
Yeah.
But if you, oh my God, I'm going to get to the gym in July, and it doesn't happen, again, you're letting yourself down. You set yourself up for.
Yeah.
So go out and be fit. It won't hurt you as a bodybuilder to do some burpees. That way, if you do 500 a day, that will hurt you. But do some sprints. It's explosive power. Don't go on a 25-mile run. That's counterproductive. But do some explosive movements. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Work with what's in your control.
Yeah.
And just be the best version that you can be. So when you come out of lockdown, then you're ready to go. You've rested your mind. If you're stressing out the whole time, you're tired before you even start again. So you're on the back foot.
How do you reckon Gemma in 2014 would have coped with this lockdown?
In 2014, I probably would have gone back to marathon. Because I was just on the transition line.
Yeah.
I've handled the lockdown better training wise, like I said, because I've got the luxury of training in my gym. If I didn't have my gym, I can't really tell you how well I would have handled that.
Yeah.
I understand that it's hard for people. So I know that a lot of people that own gyms are putting their workouts of them in the gym on social media, and they're still documenting them training in the gym and putting it out there. I can't do that because I wouldn't not want to rub it in the faces of the people that haven't got that facility, because that's not fair.
Yeah, I understand that.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you want to talk about your gym a little bit? Do you want to tell us about your gym?
You won't recognise it when you see it.
I know you've been painting it, haven't you? So.
Yeah, I've been painting it. You opened it with a DJ set in 2017. God.
Wow. So it's been 3 years nearly.
Yeah, 3 years in October.
Wow.
And I've just had a big just a revamp of it. I've changed all the flooring because with all this and the restrictions that are going to come out of this COVID, I've changed the flooring so I can mop it every day, whereas the flooring I had before I couldn't mop. So it's more hygienic. And I've had graffiti artists in and stuff like that. And I'm ready. I think all my members are going to get a complete shock when they walk in there. It's just nothing. Even the reception doesn't even look like what it used to be before. You know, now it looks like a hardcore bodybuilding gym, but everything's serviceable. Do you know what I mean? It's like new school but old school.
Good. And how do you find being a gym owner, managing a gym, being an IFBB Pro and competing and getting ready for stuff, and obviously a mum as well? And how do you find all that?
The gym and the competing really work well together because I train when I'm in work. I take my food to my gym. It's like my home. I've got everything in there that you could think of. Like I've even got George Foreman in there. Like if I want to cook my chicken fresh. But I will, when I'm in prep, like when I'm not in prep, I'll do my training around my clients as long as I know I've got a good amount of time. When I'm in prep, I'll just block out the time that I train and I put it in the diary. So I don't take clients. I look at it as an appointment. That is when I'm training. That's it. So that it works well. But what doesn't work well is I do still work really long hours. I mean, I have pushed out a lot of weeks where I've done 91 hours in a week in that gym. It's my choice that I could get someone in, but it's very hard to find someone that will run somebody else's business with the passion that you require them to, if it's not theirs.
Yeah.
And my gym is a local gym. It isn't on the same level as Fitness First, and there's a lot of gyms around my area, big corporate gyms, and they're cheaper, and they've got 75 more treadmills and all brand spanking new dumbbells, whereas mine are the old iron ones. Or people come to my gym over there because of the experience they get when they come here.
Yeah.
So if I just put any Tom, Dick and Harry on that desk, that I have to know that the person on there is going to do what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, what the people are coming for is the experience, isn't it, of the energy and the vibe that that you give yourself, but also that the clients themselves are kind of bouncing off you, aren't they? So if you go to a Fitness First, you are just getting a clone of every other Fitness First, aren't you? They're all the same, and they don't have that energy or individuality.
No, and they don't. People don't want to help you unless you're paying them. Probably not because they're bad people, but because they went so high that they need to make the money to survive in a place like that, because they've put that many PTs in one facility. They're all fighting over who's going to get the client, and they've got to pay £500 a month rent to that place before they even earn a penny. So they're not going to give you a shoulder exercise that's going to bring the roundness out unless you pay them. Whereas here, I'll say, yeah, come on, and I'll just go and do a set with them and show them.
Yeah, that's good.
Do you know what I mean? It's different. Yeah. And you know that we live our life in gyms, privately owned gyms. So and it's not always about the newest machines. You know, it's about the machines that work.
Yeah, well, every time we've ever gone to a gym, I can't even remember ever picking a Fitness First to go to. You know, we've always gone to the spit and sawdust type gyms, or the ones that we know of that have got the best equipment or the best vibe, the best energy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a question in from Sarah again. Let's have a look at that.
Okay. What's a mantra? I'm sorry. What's a mantra?
So something that you kind of use yourself, like a motivation within yourself, when you feel low. Have you got like a saying, or do you speak to yourself and say, "Come on, Gemma, let's," if you've got something, even potentially you look at a picture or something that you utilize and that gets you going, no matter what you're feeling.
When I am feeling a little bit demotivated in general, or a little bit low in general, I look at my kids. They're the most important. They're the motivation, because I'm literally all they have got. So I want to give them the best life that I can. And so that's why I put so many hours in at the gym, because then they've got the trainers that their friends have got at school. Do you know what I mean? And to go to the Olympia is to prove to them that it doesn't matter where you start. If you want something and you work for it, you're going to get it. So my kids are my ultimate drive, like ultimately. But when I'm not feeling very motivated in the gym, I mean, it does happen. Of course it does. If I'm feeling like, oh my God, this one's heavy, I just say to myself, and it's a running joke, I just go, Olympia, 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 and I just do it. That's it.
I remember one of your t-shirts, or you had a couple of t-shirts with mantras on them, and I'm trying to think of what there was one in particular that you had, and I can't remember if you remember, but it was along the lines of "Suck it up, princess" or something
Suck it
like
up, princess. Suck it up, buttercup, probably. That's, I say all of them to my clients. If it was easy, everyone would do it. Pain is weakness, leaving your body. You know, if it's hurting, it's working. I have a load of different sayings. They love them. They love my little one-liners. But for me, when I just sit and think about it, I think it depends as well, because like my training is my release, so it's not often that I go into a session and I don't give it everything, as you know, because if I'm feeling happy, I'm bouncing around the gym, dancing. Like even now, some people can't even believe I train really hard, like you know, but I don't feel that I have to get really angry. So me, if I'm singing in between a set, I'm relaxed, so I'm gonna give everything. Like it's, I can't explain it. Like I train with a guy, and he goes, "I'm gonna do his accent. Don't fucking man, talk too much." Right, this is what he says. I'm focused. I'm ready. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. Right. I don't need to be banging my head like this to lift a heavy set. Obviously, if it's really heavy, you have to focus so that you're safe.
yeah,
But like I've trained my way through some very hard times, as you know. And do you remember that one time where I'm not going to go into it, when we had a really bad time,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
was to come down and train with you on the Saturday, and we was in prep, and you and Luke had said, and I hadn't phoned you, and they said if she comes, she's all right, but if she don't come today, she's lost her head. And I came because training pulls me out of any hole.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that's a common thing that in this environment, a lot of people do train and push themselves harder to keep them in that kind of on the level. It's keep them sane, keep them
Yeah.
to stop thinking about all the problems that they've got. So,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I know you firsthand from training, and your mind focus is very different to most. Um, you know, you have a certain ability to literally just not even kind of feel the pain. It's literally just carry on and do it. And I think that's a very distinct thing about you. Having trained with lots of people, I think you're probably the most insane I've ever trained with. Yeah, I could never beat you in any competition, rep wise. So,
That's so
but
stubborn, Matt.
you've got that psycho kind of in a good way, that switch that you just switch off and you'll just keep going. Uh,
Yeah. And I think that it's very much in your mind, so you can literally change how a set feels whilst you're doing a set. If you go into a set and think, Jesus, this is heavy, it's going to feel really heavy.
yeah,
If you go into it and you're doing, say, leg extensions and you've got to fire and you think, oh my God, if you change your head and go, this ain't heavy, you're repping them out. It's about the mind. If you beat yourself before you lift weight, it's going to feel heavy. Like, it's just going to. Do you
okay,
know what I
let's
mean? And
let's lighten it up a little bit then. So let's talk about some fun stuff. Let's tell us if you can think the funniest moment throughout your kind of bodybuilding, or some of the funniest moments throughout your bodybuilding kind of career. And that means that's anything to do with training on stage, um, anything at all.
the funniest thing ever that springs to mind ever was when I travelled to, I really don't, I can't recall whether it was Korea or Budapest. I think it was Budapest with Nathan, right? And on the plane on the way home, because we went to one location, we came back for 3 days, and then we flew off to the next one. And that's when he won in Korea. So this has got to be in Budapest. I've got videos of this. It was the funniest thing ever. We're on the plane, and I look over, and there's a woman accommodating her husband, shall we say, in the seats next to us, right, under a coat.
Oh
Well,
my
I'm
god!
like, Nathan, look at this. And he's like, oh my God, well, you know what he's like. Right, before you know it, the whole plane knew about it. but they didn't speak English. This guy comes, the flight attendant who's gay, like, so he's very, very camp, right? And he's going, oh my God, this is disgusting. Anyway, they called the police, right? And when I've got the videos on my phone, I was crying. When the plane landed, they asked everyone to stop in the seats, and they come and escorted these people off the plane. And then me and Nave got held back because they wanted statements of us. I was like, no, I can't do this. Then we're on the honeymoon. That was one of the funniest things. It may not sound hilarious now, but honestly, it was the funniest thing ever. The funny things for me as well is when I always get people, especially men, they say to me, and I still get it now, and I don't know why it happens, and it really, really does my head in, because as you said, like, I'm a bit of a freak when I train, and men are like, oh yeah, I'll come and teach you how to train legs. I just roll my eyes, like, why do you feel the need to, like, okay, so I don't know how to train my legs, or I don't know how to train my back, I'll come and show you a hard session. Why not just say, oh yeah, do you fancy getting a session and we'll hit it hard? Why do you feel the need to tell me that you're going to teach me? Like, I haven't got here by not knowing what I'm doing now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so they come and they give it the big one, and then they're crying on the floor in a heap. You know, they're very nearly weeing themselves. They feel sick. They can't mix another rep. And I'm still going, like, what's going on? It happens so many times. And have to laugh, and the people like the guy Gaz who trains in my gym. I texted him and I said, I've got another one coming down to splash me on legs, and he just sends back a load of laughing faces, like he clearly doesn't know.
Yeah, I've seen it myself, so I know what the, you know, it's just silly for them to even challenge it.
I mean, like, I just feel like, Matt, right, I can train with anyone. If they don't lift it, if I can't lift, say, Nathan, I can't lift the same as him on legs. Obviously, I keep up with him to a certain degree. The man's a monster. I can't lift the same as him, but my work ethic is the same. So we train hard together, we train well together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't care if someone comes to train with me. Sorry, my dogs. If they can't lift as heavy as me, I don't care. I don't care. If you're putting the most amount of effort in like I am, if your effort matches mine, we're going to have a great session. We're going to have a great session. But if you come to my gym and tell me, like that girl, do you remember I told you about that girl that came to Hercules gym? I offered to spar with her. I didn't know how to box, but she needed a sparring partner to get ready. And I said time and time again to her, I am not a fighter. I'm a bodybuilder. She come to my gym. She tried to knock me out. So I leathered her for 3 rounds, made her cry. Like, I don't understand the arrogance in some people. I just don't.
Sarah's saying that she notices it in her gym as well.
I notice that too in the gym as well.
And she
I know.
I think it's quite common though with guys, isn't it, that think that they're probably stronger than women, but obviously they don't train at the same kind of level as you, and then, you know, the same intensity. And if they're trying to match you with that intensity, that's where they're going to struggle.
Yeah, yeah, and I just think that it's a masculine. I don't know. It's a macho thing. It's natural for a man to just want to be like as strong stronger than the woman. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. The protector. But the guys in my gym don't even bother now because they just know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, we've now.
I miss training with you.
Say again.
I miss training with you.
Oh no, we'll have to when lockdown's finished, and we'll have to sort a session out. Definitely.
That'll make me happy.
Yeah, it better be chest though, because that's what I'm best at.
Dolly Parton, they used to call you. Oh, we had some good times in Atlas there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh man, we had some amazing times, didn't we? It was just the best.
Yeah.
Like those stairs though, who puts a bodybuilder upstairs, like after legs? Oh man. And do you know what? It's really nice as well to see arms doing so well.
Yeah.
He was only young, and like no one knew him when we were training there, did they?
No.
And he's just blown up.
Yeah, he's
Even
happy.
his stupid hair.
He loves doing what he's doing.
He loves it. I went back last year, you know, to train with him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And it was good. It was good to see him. Oh, I dropped something on the floor. I think it was last year. Anyway, it might have been no, it was early last year. Yeah. We trained shoulders.
We came to Corpus and trained at Corpus last year.
With Tom Platts.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just a lovely guy, isn't he? He's just so crazy, and people think, is it an act? It's really not. He's just literally that nuts, and he's a nice lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he's definitely not what he portrays on his Instagram account. There's a lot more to him than that. He is a nice guy.
Yeah, but you know, I think that he's very intelligent to have made it so big. There's that many people that do very similar things to him, and I think if you can make it by being a joker, but the fact is he's a joker, but Jesus, he trains hard because he is natural, and so many people don't believe him. He is natural. He's a natural guy.
He's insanely strong. It's insane.
Yeah.
So we've actually come to the end of our time, Gemma.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Is there anything that you want to say to anyone who's watching? Any people? I don't know.
Well, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for having me on. Like, I miss you. And like, I know that I will never forget. And I always say, whenever I do anything, whenever I compete, you know, I always put on my post, I wouldn't be where I am without you and without Luke, because you were the guys that took me in. So I'm forever grateful for that. So for me to sit here and we chat like this, you know, like as well, you know, you've got a true friend. We haven't seen each other for ages. Well, you know, you've got a true friend when you just pick up where you left off. You know that we've got lives. So thank you, by the way, I love you. And to anybody else watching that is in the fitness journey, that have got dreams that they want to, you know, see, I'm going to say it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Take your time, learn your body, stay consistent. So if you've got a coach, stay with him, because the next coach isn't always better. The best coaches are people that learn about you over time. And I feel that if you set your goal and keep the passion, then you're going to get there, but you've just got to keep the faith. And especially through this time, take the pressure off yourself and work on yourself. And then so you're in the best position to hit it when this COVID finishes.
Great advice. Great advice, Gemma. And it was great to catch up with you. Sarah says thank you, and hope comes to train with you sometime.
Yeah.
And
literally anybody that wanted to come and have a session, just come to my gym. Just message me, come to my gym, and we'll hit a session. I love that.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Gary Staten says wicked interview, Gem. Keep smashing it, chick.
Ah, thank you. Thanks, Gary.
Okay, so Gemma, we'll probably let's see how this year pans out for you, and you know, hopefully, fingers crossed. You know, you might get to a qualifier, and you win, and you get to the Olympia, and let's just fingers crossed. But if depending on what happens, we'll bring you back on, and we'll have another chat.
I love that.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me on, and take care.
All right, speak soon. All right.
See you later.
Bye.
I don't know how to come off. Are you going to log me off?
You stay on a second. Let's just say bye to these.